Well, everyone's already made their videos about this event, so it's about time I do mine. Let's go. This is the Talyllyn Railway, a heritage railway in Wales with a very special connection to the Reverend Wilbert Awdry. And every year they hold the Awdry Extravaganza, which is a celebration of all the Reverend's works, complete with engines visiting from the Scarlowy Railway. And after going to and loving two of the previous ones, I decided I'll go again this year, and I did not regret it. So here's everything that happened. Our story starts on Friday the 19th of July at about 3 o'clock. We arrived at Talyllyn Wharf at about 3 o'clock, just in time for the Fred special. St. Cadfan arrived with the coaches. I was able to ride in the special Scarlowy Railway coach. That was fun. We got the special leaflets and it wasn't long before we set off. Soon we passed through Pendray, where I got to see Edward Thomas in its smart new Kerr Stuart Grey livery, and the main man, Sir Handel. There was an opportunity for a few photos, and Sir Handel was brought over so people could do an epic recreation of the illustration from the Christopher Awdry book, Great Little Engines. Sir Handel then went away and we continued our trip down the line. There was a stop at Dalgoch for some more photos and a couple of run-bys. Then it was to the ends of the line at Nant Gwernel, where Fred ran around his train for the journey back. When we got back to Wharf, there was a special surprise of hearing the Reverend Awdry narrate Duke the Lost Engine, my favourite Railway Series book, and I bought a copy along with me to have people I know sign it. All the original artwork for the book was also there, as well as the Reverend's mid-Sodal Railway layout, my favourite layout of his. And Rusty was outside as well, and they'd unfortunately been decapitated. But as we all know, that was to change the following day. We were on the first train out Saturday morning and wanted to see the handover ceremony, so we arrived at Wharf bright and early and got to see Rusty with their fancy new face. Everything was soon ready for the handover ceremony, held by the Reverend Awdry's daughter, Veronica Chambers.
Sir Handel, I explained, is pompous, preening, and full of his own self-importance. Then I realised such an engine would love the attention from so many enthusiasts.
And I seriously couldn't believe that standing right in front of me was the real Sir Handel. Now this wasn't just some engine dressed up like the previous years, this was the real Sir Handel. Hey, wait a minute. What's this? Chorus Railway number 10. Oh, very funny, Sir Handel. But you can't trick us into thinking you're not real. Come on, you even interrupted Veronica's speech a few times. Only the real Sir Handel would do something as inconsiderate as that. Well, anyway, it was soon time for our train to leave. We waved goodbye to Worf and Sir Handel, passed through Pendray where I saw Nicolas Cage getting ready through the window, and all the way along the line to Abergynolwyn. We got off and had a look at some of the cool stuff they had on display at the station. And of course the Farquhar branch layout was there. That's always nice to see. Also at Abergynolwyn I decided to take my melodica out and play some Thomas tunes. Then Sir Handel and Sir Hayden came by with a picnic. Great to see them. And Tom Roll took us back to Wharf. We passed Dalgoch at Quarry Siding and Nicolas Cage at Brynglass. When we got back to Wharf, we went over to the model tents to have a look at some amazing models. And that's where I also met the first famous person of the weekend, the Sodor Samurai. And he signed my book. Thanks for that, man. And unfortunately, it was raining. So I spent my time hiding onto the station canopy, playing some Thomas music on my melodica, watching the trains, and saying hi to some more famous people. Someone else really cool I met was Sam's Trains, who not only signed my book, but remembered me from when I met him at the 2023 Worley Model Railway exhibition. Legend. The next thing I wanted to see was the chapel train, so I watched Sir Handel get prepared for that, and the rain got heavier. So I very appropriately played the Storm theme on my melodica after the train left. God almighty, is the weather ever going to be nice for an Awdry extravaganza? Shortly afterwards, it was my turn to go into the exhibition at the museum. It was great seeing all the TV props and cool displays, but my favourite thing there was definitely the mid-Sodor layout. As I said earlier, I love this layout so much. Nice to see it get some attention again. And of course, later that afternoon was evening entertainment in the Magic Lantern Cinema. We got there good and early, and as it turns out, there was a piano in the lobby. I asked if it was playable, and here's how that went. I played a few pieces of Thomas music, among other things which people seem to like, and I, of course, rickrolled the extravaganza. A huge thank you goes to everyone who enjoyed my playing and sang along. It really means a lot. Thank you all very much. And of course there was the lecture, where we learned loads of cool new lore and facts. My favourite new fact I learned was that the sad story of Henry was written before Edward and Gordon. Never knew that before. Then after that was the brain-frying, ever-changing world of Awdry, where we learned all about the characters' original bases, which was interesting. And to finish off the night was a special screening of Blue Mountain Mystery, complete with a starting speech from Richard Awdry. And that was the end of an amazing Saturday. The only thing we had booked on the Sunday was the photo charter, which wasn't until the end of the day. So in the morning we decided to go around and film some of the trains, going first to Ridder Runnin to see the horse and cart. we were lucky enough to beat the train to Talyllyn, where I managed to catch it leaving. Nicolas Cage then passed, and it wasn't long before Sir Handel and Talyllyn came by again with the return horse and cart. The last engine I saw here was Talyllyn, and the driver was having way too much fun with the two whistles. Someone on the train also did a Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure. After all that, we headed back to Wharf Station, where I 1. Had my melodica out, and 2. Brought out the model trains I took along with me. I had my Hornby Thomas, my Hornby Percy, and my old Triang pannier tank. I don't have ducks, so that's the next best thing. Along with 3 custom wagons I made. The Fred Pele truck, a Binley Mega Chippy van, why not, and the ULP van. Someone I got talking to actually had his own ULP van, so of course I had to get a few pictures of the 2 ULP vans together. Someone also suggested that I run my models on the test layout they had there, so I did just that. And I just want to say that this test layout was an amazing idea, because 1, you get to show off and run your own models, and 2, you get to look at everyone else's amazing models as well. Around this time I also got talking to some more famous people, including Piece of J and Thomas Theorist himself. Thanks for signing the book, lads. And as it turns out, I wasn't the only music man there, because someone I was talking to had an ocarina. He didn't play it, unfortunately, though. It was soon time for Sir Handel to leave with the Sunday picnic, so I of course had to get video of that. Sadly, the weekend slowly started to draw to a close, so everyone gathered around to see the photo charter off and to say goodbye to the engines.
See you next time, Nick Cage.
And while I had the time, I decided to get a quick video of me playing Rusty's theme next to the main diesel. It was very soon time for the photo charter to leave, so I made sure to give everyone a big wave as we departed on the final train of the weekend. It was a very pleasant final trip along the line, stopping at Bryn Glas, Talyllyn and Abergynolwyn to take some photos and videos. After running around at Nantgwernal, it was a non-stop trip back up the line, all the way to Wharf Station. Quite a bittersweet moment in all seriousness. I grabbed one final picture with Sir Handel, got to see Terrier 55 Stepney's amazing Awdry diorama, and then it was time to say goodbye. But the day wasn't over for me just yet. As one final treat, I decided to go over to the sea and recreate the gorgeous ending shot from All at Sea. I bought these exact models for a reason, you know. I think it looks alright. I decided to stick around for breakfast on the Monday morning, because the cafe at Wharf Station literally does the best breakfast in town. And Talyllyn was there, so I of course had to see her depart. So I had a lovely breakfast, saw a few more trains, picked up a Bachman Tidmouth milk tanker from the gift shop. That was it really, I just went home after that. After what was probably one of the best weekends of my life. And that was my time at the 2024 Awdry Extravaganza. I have so many people to thank. First of all, I'd like to thank my family for coming along with me. I'd like to thank the approximately 9 famous people I met for being kind enough to speak to me and sign the book. I'd like to thank all the new friends I've made this weekend. I'd like to thank everyone who liked me doing my music stuff. I'd like to thank the Scarlowy Railway and the Corris Railway for letting Sir Handel visit. I'd like to thank Nicolas Cage for being a good sport and showing his face. And most of all, I would just like to thank the Talyllyn Railway for everything. They're an amazing railway and they've put on an absolutely spectacular event. Thank you so much for a weekend that me and hundreds of other people enjoyed so much.
Yes, it's great to be an engine and go steaming along, puffing along, beeping along. All the people waiting as you speed along, puffing along all day. We're all so proud to be famous engines and travel through the countryside. We're always brave when the hills to climb, no mountain is too high. Oh yes, it's great to be an engine as you're steaming along, puffing along, beeping along. Fly along the rails as your wheels go round, whizzing around all day. It doesn't matter, come rain or shine, there's always things for us to do. And in the cold winter time, we're ready when you light the fire and stoke the boiler, and we'll be there for you. Oh yes, it's great to be an engine as you're steaming along, puffing along, beeping along.